Hello and welcome once again to the Waters and Stanton video channel. In this video we're going to take a look at the use of external antenna matching units rather than the internal ones and see what the advantages are of having an external antenna matching unit. And for the purpose of this video I'm going to take a look at one of the LDG popular antenna matching units. Now, LDG have been around a long time, and their range covers most people's needs. There's not a tremendous number of different models, but the models that are there probably, as I say, cover most people's needs. This particular one is the AT100ProII Mark II. Now, I've had this for about 2 or 3 years at least, so the current model, the AT100 Mark II Pro, must have been around for a fair time. Basically, this particular model is rated at 100 or 125 watts. There are 2 other models which seem to be basically identical other than their power handling. There's the AT200, which is rated, would you believe, at 200 watts, or a bit more than 200 watts, I think, actually, maybe 250 watts. And the AT600, which is actually rated at 1000 watts, so the actual code for that would suggest it's 600, but they say it's rated at 1000 watts. Anyway, the interesting thing about these 3 models is that they are all basically very, very similar indeed. The only real difference, as far as I can see, is their power handling. There may be some other subtle differences, but to a sort of casual glance and looking at the spec, they basically all seem to do the same thing. Obviously, the cases are larger in the higher powered ones, but what they do is they enable you to match some pretty difficult antenna setups. And that is one of the big advantages of an external antenna matching unit, is that it is capable of matching antenna systems that the internal antenna matching unit couldn't cope with. As well as that, it also adds some additional features. For example, you often get a second antenna socket, which means to say you can have 2 antennas connected to it. And that would be great for the IC7300, which has only got 1 antenna socket. Put the matching units on the end of it, and you've got the ability to match a wider range of antenna systems, and also you've got an extra antenna socket. There is also a claim that the external matching units can be more efficient because they're larger, they've got more room to build the various bits and pieces inside the cabinet. That may be true, but I'm not quite sure that it's noticeable. There might be a difference in the matching, but in the efficiency, but I doubt that it's actually of any practical advantage. But also what you do get is you get some greater flexibility, and I think that'll be apparent when we actually look at the LDG unit. You get a nice power meter which is LED, and that can be configured so that it reads peak power, and I've always found that LED meters, these LED bar meters, tend to give a more accurate indication of peak power output than the analog type meters. So what we'll do now is we'll go through the LDG antenna matching units. I call it matching units rather than ATU, just to try and be correct, and highlight the features of it. And I think as we go through, you'll see that there are some fairly distinct advantages having an external antenna matching unit. So let's go ahead and take a look. The AT100 covers 160 meters through to 6 meters. It has a power rating of 125 watts on SSB, 100 watts on CW, and 75 watts on FT8. The front panel has 7 multifunction controls. There's a forward power meter reading of 0 to 125 watts, so this can be switched down to a full scale of 12.5 watts for low power. And you've also got a VSWR meter. On the rear panel, we've got an input for 2 antennas, and these can be selected from the front panel. We've got the earth terminal, we've got the input from the transceiver, and we've got the DC input socket. The unit's designed to operate from 11 to 16 volts. With the cover removed, you can see there's a nice, neat layout. You can see the relays, the capacitors, and the inductors. This is how long it takes to tune a completely new frequency. I apply 5 watts of steady carrier such as AM and press the tune button. It's quite quick. If you go to a frequency that you've used before, then the unit will have memorised it, and it's as quick as a flash. Like this. The LED bar graph makes it very easy to measure PEP. Hello test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you want to bypass the ATU completely, you just briefly tap the tune button. So far we've been using the unit in the semi-automatic mode, but if you want to switch it to fully automatic, you press function plus C down. That now means to say that as soon as it sees a rise in VSWR, it will automatically retune itself. If you look at other secondary functions achieved by pressing the function button, you'll see that you can switch peak off, which means say it'll go to average, and you can switch scale so it goes to 12.5 watts full scale for low power operation. Now, I carried out an interesting experiment. I thought it'd be interesting to see what the response is of the antenna matching unit when it's matched the antenna. And I'll show on the screen first of all here what the response was. I used a zoom analyzer to see what the response was with the antenna matching unit out of circuit or bypass. You can see it's pretty horrible. And then I resonated the antenna matching unit by connecting it back to the transceiver, and now I put up on the screen the actual response you get once it's been resonated. You see there's a very pronounced dip and good rejection either side. So I suppose in some respects it does act as a front-end bandpass filter. Now, one of the interesting things about this particular range of antenna matching units from LDG is that they do have a sort of manual control on them. Because if you look at the front panel, you'll see that you've got controls over the capacitor and the inductance. Now, LDG don't publish, at least in the documents I've seen, they don't publish the actual circuit diagram. But the basic circuit, I think, is an L network. And I'll put it out on the screen now. And this is this conventional sort of simple L network that has been used for many years to match antennas or match the feed line. And it's just a simple capacitor and inductance, both of which are variable. Now, interestingly enough, LDG have made these two components adjustable manually. So on the front panel, you'll see that you can have C up or C down, and you can have L up and L down. In other words, if you press those buttons, you change the inductance value either up or down, and the capacitance value either up or down. There's one more interesting thing that they have provided, and they've provided a means of actually reversing that network. So instead of having the inductance followed by the capacitance, you can have the capacitance followed by the inductance. In other words, you can reverse the circuit. And the idea is that it gives you greater ability to match some pretty horrible reactances. In real life practical terms, what does it mean? Well, it means to say that if you move around the band, you could just tap one or other of the values to just trim it to get a low VSWR gain. In other words, if you resonated the antenna using the normal press button on the front panel, either semi-automatic or automatic, and then you move up the band and you want to just trim it a bit because the VSWRs rise slightly, you could just press those buttons and just trim it back to the lowest VSWR you could get. Now, the LDG range that we've been looking at is designed for unbalanced line. In other words, it's designed to feed a coax line. But what happens if you've got balanced line or you want to use it to feed an end-fed wire? Well, LDG cover this in their documentation. They point out that if you added a balun to the output of the unit, then you can feed balanced line. You can either put a 1-to-1 or 4-to-1 balun. If you wanted to use it with an end-fed wire, you could add an unun to it. You could add a 4-to-1 or a 9-to-1 unun to it. And really and truly, most antenna units that have connections for balanced line use a balun inside the antenna matching unit. It's not a true balanced tuning arrangement inside. They just add a balun. So yes, you can use the LDG for balanced line or for end-fed if you add those one or other of the items on the output. Is it as good as a true manual antenna tuning unit? Well, I think it probably is almost. It does the job, and I know that you could come up with one or two reasons for having a fully manual antenna tuning unit, but I'm not sure that the guy at the other end would notice much difference. Certainly with the automatic units, you can get resonance or get the matching very quickly indeed, a matter of seconds, which you can't do with a manual unit. Even though you may have pre-marked the dials on the front, you've still got to twiddle them around and use the roller coaster to get to the point that you need to get to. So I think by and large that an automatic antenna unit does the job, and probably, as I say, the guy at the other end wouldn't notice the difference. So if you've got an internal antenna matching unit in your transceiver, and it's likely you have, why would you want an external one? Well, I think the overriding reason is that the external one has much greater matching ability. It can cope with much more difficult matching situations, so you shouldn't have a problem no matter what sort of antenna arrangement you've got. You also happen to get a VSWR meter built in, you get a PEP meter built in, and you also get a two-way coax switch built in. So these are all things that may persuade you that an external matching unit such as the LDG range would be a worthwhile investment. And of course, it's not likely to go out of fashion. Transceivers come and go, but antenna matching units, rather like power supplies, they do the job, and they'll probably do the job for many, many years. So I hope this video has been helpful, and thank you for your support on this video channel. Don't forget to press the subscribe button. That indicates how well we're doing. And also thank you for your support on the internet. We do carry a tremendous range of products, and sometimes I go on there and I think, gosh, I didn't realise we did, or I didn't realise we did that. You know, all sorts of accessories as well. Don't forget the bundle deals we do. That means to say that if you buy a unit and it's part of a bundle deal, you can get something else free or something somewhat cheaper. So check that out as well. And if you want to find out what the bundle deals are, just go into the search bar on our website and type in the word bundle, and you'll see all the bundle deals come up. In the meantime, you enjoy Ham Radio, you take care. Look forward to seeing you as usual in the next video. Bye for now.